You just folded a clean pair of socks, turned away for less than 3 seconds, and they're gone. You walk into the living room, the towel's on the floor, pants are dragged across the carpet, and your dog is sitting there, tail wagging, sock in mouth. You sigh. Again? Why do you keep stealing my stuff? But here's a big mistake many dog owners, maybe even you, are making, brushing off this behavior as just being naughty. You call it mischief, you call it bad, but have you ever stopped and asked the other question? Why does your dog insist on taking things that smell like you? Why do they ignore expensive toys only to grab old towels, worn shirts, or socks with holes? And why does it often happen exactly when you're busy, stressed, or about to leave the house? When dogs steal towels, grab socks, or drag your clothes, they may be sending a message, one you've never listened to. In this video, I'll tell you Bobby's story, a dog everyone called a bad boy for stealing towels, socks, and pants. But the truth is, Bobby wasn't naughty at all. He was trying to say something, but no one was listening. If your dog ever chewed your towel, type yes. Let's dive in. 1. Bobby takes towels not to play, but to send a message. That towel you thought was meaningless carried an entire memory. When Bobby yanked a towel off the rack, you thought he was misbehaving. But if you looked closer, he didn't shred it, didn't hide it, didn't even chew it. He just brought it closer to you or laid down on it. Why towels? Because they carry your strongest scent: sweat, shampoo, perfume. To you, just dirty laundry. To him, it's connection. Bobby wasn't stealing. Bobby was searching for you. According to behavior experts at the American Kennel Club, dogs often carry their owners' scented items when anxious, lonely, or craving attention. Dragging the towel was Bobby's way of saying, "I'm here, look at me." Don't rush to scold, you might be breaking an invisible bond. What's the funniest thing your dog has ever carried that reminded you of yourself? Share it. I bet each one has an adorable reason. But Bobby didn't stop at towels. Soon it was socks, clothes, pillows. 2. Carrying scented items. Holding on to "you're here." You leave the house, but your smell remains. And sometimes that's the only thing keeping them calm. When Bobby grabbed an old sock, you got annoyed. When he took a freshly washed shirt, you got angry. But if you're often gone or too busy to play, those items are his emotional lifeline. Dogs live through scent. Your scent equals safety, home, family, love. When they're alone or ignored, they'll grab something that smells like you to lie next to, nibble, or carry away. It's self-comfort. If you don't understand, you see mischief. If you do, you see longing. Have you ever come home to find your dog curled up with your pajama top? Tell me, I guarantee you'll see that moment differently now. But sometimes it's not just longing. Sometimes it's boredom, turned into desperation. 3. When a dog acts bad, they might just be bored. No one talks, no one plays, nothing changes. So they create mischief to get your attention. You give food, water, a comfy bed, but if every day feels the same, to a dog, that's confinement. Like a child, they start testing you, taking your favorite things, dragging the items you hate to see dirty, pulling on your pants when you're busy, stealing socks right before you leave for work. They're not destroyed. They're saying, "Please look at me." According to PetMD, many bad behaviors aren't personality flaws. They come from a lack of mental and emotional stimulation. A dog without exercise, play, or conversation becomes a silent troublemaker. Don't wait until the furniture is destroyed. The first stolen sock was already a warning. How many minutes a day do you actually play with your dog? Maybe just 15 more minutes a day, and you'll see a magical change. But what Bobby did next really makes you stop and think. 4. Dogs aren't naughty, you just don't understand their language. They can't speak, so behavior is their language. You thought he's being bad, but Bobby doesn't know what bad means. Dogs don't live in right vs wrong by human rules. They only know I got attention or I was ignored. Every time Bobby grabbed a sock, you looked, you shouted, you reacted to him. That's success. He wasn't wrong. He found a way to make you notice him. Experts at the ASPCA call this reinforced behavior, habits that repeat because they work. Even scolding counts as feedback. And for a dog, sometimes being yelled at is better than being invisible. Have you ever accidentally rewarded bad behavior by reacting too strongly? Share your story. You might help someone realize the same thing. But Bobby didn't just want reactions. He wanted something bigger, freedom outside. 5. Towels, socks, even sticks. One clear message: take me out. Bobby wasn't naughty. He was packing for a trip. At one point, Bobby started dragging everything: towels, pants, even a huge stick. Sounds random, but if you looked closer, they all connected to one thing: the beach. Towel for drying off, clothes for changing, stick like driftwood on the shore. Bobby couldn't say it out loud, but his behavior drew the map. And when he was finally taken to the beach, he became calm, happy, peaceful. And the truth? Bobby wasn't bad. He just hadn't been allowed to be a dog for too long, running, rolling, sniffing sand, chasing waves. Behind the naughty behavior was an unspoken dream. Does your dog prefer being inside or outside? Comment now. Has your dog ever hinted at where they wanted to go with strange behavior? And here comes the most important part. What should you do when your dog acts like Bobby? 6. What should you do when your dog steals things? Don't scold, understand? Every behavior is a signal. The question is, how well are you listening? When you see your dog carry something off, don't react instantly. Observe. What did they take? Where did they bring it? When did it happen? Does it repeat? If it's something you use often, they're seeking your scent. If it happens as you're about to leave, it's separation anxiety. If they grab something then look at you, they're asking for interaction. The best approach isn't forbidding, it's replacing and connecting. Give them a toy with your scent, like an old t-shirt. Add 10-15 minutes of play daily. Change the scenery sometimes. A park walk, sunshine, sniffing grass. No dog is born naughty. There are only dogs whose needs for natural living have been overlooked. Do you have a tip that helps your dog play with limits but still stay happy? Share it. Maybe you'll save someone else's sock from being stolen. And when you look closer, you'll see these little behaviors are really just ways of saying, I love you. 7. There are no bad dogs, only humans who haven't learned to listen. You're annoyed when your dog chews a pillow, but to them, that pillow is a safe place when you're gone. Many things you call bad are actually cries for help. When dogs destroy furniture, bark too much, or steal laundry, they are saying, I'm sad, I'm scared, I don't know what else to do. A dog that gets play, conversation, and choice rarely acts out. It's the lack of stimulation and interaction, the monotony of daily life that turns them restless. According to the Journal of Veterinary Behavior, dogs who get 30 minutes of active play daily reduce destructive behavior in the home by 55%. Dogs need to run, to sniff, to be challenged. Most of all, they need to believe they're an important part of the family. Have you noticed how much calmer your dog is after a walk? Sometimes the annoying behaviors we don't understand are actually the most beautiful things we've overlooked. Hearing your things, their way of keeping you close. You think your dog stole your stuff, but maybe they were just trying to keep you near. You are their whole world. They don't have phones, photos, or journals. All they have are your worn socks, your sleep shirt, the towel you left on the chair. When you're gone, those items are the only pieces of you in their world. And when they drag it to their bed, hold it in their mouth, or fall asleep hugging it, they're really saying, I miss you. In that moment, do you still feel angry? Or do you feel the urge to hug them tighter? And then you wonder, how many times have I misunderstood just because I didn't stop to listen? 9. Gentle solutions. Helping dogs feel they belong. You can't forbid your dog from loving your scent, but you can help them feel close without stealing. If your dog often grabs socks, towels, or shirts, don't scold. Try this. Give them an official old shirt of yours for their bed. Add a little playtime daily. Leave behind a personal item when you're away. Set up a pet camera and call them when you're gone long. Most importantly, talk to them. Even just a few words each day. They listen. They remember every word, every look, every gentle touch. Because for dogs, language isn't in words, it's in presence. Have you ever seen your dog sleep better just by hearing your voice on a video call? If you have, you already know how deeply they need you. 10. Bobby wasn't a bad boy, he just needed to be himself. When Bobby was finally taken to the beach, all the mischief stopped. No more towel stealing, no more pants tugging, no more sock snatching. He ran, rolled, sniffed the waves, laughed with his family. At that moment, Bobby wasn't a bad boy, he was just a dog allowed to live his true nature. Like humans, dogs weren't made to be locked inside walls. They need the world, and they need you to take them there. A well-behaved dog isn't one you've controlled. It's one you've understood and allowed to be themselves, safely and with love. Have you ever seen your dog turn calmer and sweeter after just one good outing? If you have, you've found the answer. And now, we can close this journey with one question. Do you truly understand your dog? We often call their little habits bad, but what if they're really love notes we've ignored? Dogs can't speak, but they send messages through socks, towels, and the stolen things you thought they were being naughty with. The truth, they just want to hold a piece of you when you're not there. And remember, you're all they have. If you've ever scolded your dog for this, don't feel guilty. Today you understand, tomorrow you'll answer with a hug, not a lecture. What's the funniest thing your dog has ever stolen that made you mad, but also melted your heart? Share it. Your story might touch more hearts than you think. And if this video helped you understand your dog better, don't miss the next one. 10 signs your dog is saying, I miss you, that you've never noticed. Because love often hides in the smallest details.